Dragon Dreams, Book 5, Sacred Phoenix Heart, written by Gina Virginia Casella. This is part 3 of possibly Trust in Intimacy. Yes, Trust in Intimacy, part 3, and I'm starting on page 175. Seriously, Gina, don't you notice how simple it is for you to write, to scribe, to dream? For folks to talk with you and tell you literally anything? You cry in this moment because it's true. This is your calling, the listener and the scriber, which translates into the dream alchemist you are, the author you are, which means authority, because there is much wisdom embedded in these pages. Even if you can't see it, others do. And by wisdom, we mean truth. And truth is knowing. And essentially, you cast out a message of hope because everyone is in their own authority and creator, their own dreamer and their own authority, their own master scriber of their own Akashic record. That's the Manus in you. You're carrying on his work. And finally, doing so because of all the persecution. Many intimidated by Manus because of his role. All kinds of rumors that what he writes comes true. So it was perceived long ago that Manus was writing stories to control others, to manifest things. But the truth is, no one can write anyone else's story, not even Manus. So he could never control someone else's story, as in control their life. And he was forced in many lifetimes to do this, which wouldn't work. Yet at some point, it did work. Yet it was only because the elementals worked with it, doing things like making it rain. Manus became like what you call a shaman. He was able to connect with the world around him in ways others couldn't. He could connect with the Gnome King and whatnot. So Manus noticed as he wrote, whether it was with letters, music, pictures, or dance, that he was developing his own divination, meaning he was connecting to what you call spirit guides. And he noticed that the consciousness around him was also able to tap into this, like the elementals making it rain. He also was able to understand the stories, the rocks, the water, and pieces of furniture were telling. And yes, he could hear the stories the mountains told, but for his own safety, he had to tell everyone he was just creative, making it all up. A bunch of bonus stories, if you will. Yet these bonus stories intimidated others in power. Folks were starting to talk about reincarnation. Manus knew about crimes committed because the environment would tell him, or a ghostie would. So he was perceived as a psychic. Folks over time were connecting that as we evolve consciously, that it was possible to write stories, as in to write and rewrite programs, as in to control the God Source Mastermind program we all belong to. Some useful programs were welcomed, like making it rain. Yet there was fear about scary programs regarding control. So it was a slippery slope to practice this sorcery, and eventually it became forbidden knowledge and forbidden to practice such sorcery. Manus became what was known as a seer. He was known as the first master scriber, poet, and he was both feared and revered. And he also became known as the listener, as he would sit out in nature and folks would simply come to tell him things, both form and formless folks. And this is why folks tell you things, Gina. So unlike Manus, you can't make it rain, nor can you get information about crimes from the environment. But you can have thoughts drop in from the ghosties, from nature, and do what you call dream journal, which is write these very pages. And you assist others with your gemstone readings to get insight, and you help others rewrite their stories through hypnotherapy. So Manis began teaching others to write. Yet writing stories can be like playing with a weapon. Folks can get caught on repeat, stuck, if you will, in their themes. And there needs to be mentorship that goes with writing stories. The plot never mattered, yet it's the plot so many get obsessed about. It was always about the greater themes. And Manis, insight, for what it's worth, writing is no skill at all. It's always about the intention that goes with any story. So the crappiest writer and or most inexperienced writer has nothing to fear. They just need to write, sing, dance, draw. Any form of these expressions will do and are considered writing, as writing is expressing. And when he says write, what he really means is dream. Yes, expressing ourselves means dreaming ourselves into being. Manis also warns that writing stories also means writing math equations that blow all of us up. There's so much to say. Long ago, he was forced to write all this crap about wars and mighty leaders. It was a lot of ego and control. And then Manis became paranoid it could happen if the biology of belief was strong. So anything to do with having confidence or believing in yourself was practically forbidden. So no more hero stories for some time. Manis, of course, promoted things like heroes, and he also promoted that no one can get inside your head, your story, unless you let them. And we only let others get in if we trust them as a healer or lover, or if they manipulated us. So manipulation became very important to the power hungry. And it's Manis who promoted eons ago about the theme about the little guy making a difference. But it's true. And no one was intimidated by the little guy. So these stories he was allowed to write. And knowing we're a story species, Manis insisted on less details, leaving things more open for interpretation, as this appealed to the creative mind. He also formally created what we call a story structure, appealing to the logical mind. This is why our dreams are half remembered and half misunderstood. So the ants became very important, like poetry, dancing, painting, drawing, singing, music, all of these things and more to express stories, dreams. And since the beginning of time as we know it, the arts are always the first to get cut back because there's so much truth in them. Moreover, so much power. Imagination is the most powerful thing. So the arts, more specifically, the creative mind, is perceived as threatening. And Manis wrote in such a way that he could barely understand it. And he used rhyme and literary devices to help him remember. So one had to be really intelligent to do his role, which was fucking everyone up with timelines, dimensions, stories, half remembered, half misunderstood. So folks long ago made it a point not to educate or empower anyone, so they had less of a chance of understanding. Manis's work, only those in control were educated. So anyways, Manis can't write your story, nor can he write a story about you doing something against your will. He is the one who writes on behalf of many who don't have this skill or who have lost it. And he essentially helps others dream, helps them have hopes, helps them forage their thinking, helps them be an independent scriber, an independent critical thinker, reaching their own conclusions based on their own thinking while considering the perspective of others. So Manis is very inspiring and motivating to be around as he empowers others to take charge of their stories. So again, Folks who are power hungry don't like this. And when unmaking became a thing, it defaulted Manus to having the authority to formally complete the ending of the story of those unmade. Someone had to do it on their behalf, and it's worth noting their stories always end with an open heart, hopeful message that one day they could be remade. And should that time come, that he will get help to get their story started. For there really is no beginning or end of any story because everything exists in the now. And Manus is the only one who can do this. Many, of course, don't like this because they would like this power. Yet Manus created his own oath to only provide the foundations, and it would be based on the present moment biology of beliefs and framework. And this is all part of how he ends their story with this oath. He also inserts a lot of opportunity, so he doesn't impose on the free will factor. And so in this life, Gina, finally, in this life, you get to write it all down. Not just think about it, but write it down and sell it. Make money, lots of money. And folks delight in this making movies, and they form clubs sharing their own dream journals because it inspires their own memories from their own past lives, and it helps them make sense of their own dreams and manifestations. Finally, Gina, in this life, you can use your voice in this way, and you belong to various online communities listening to others tell such stories. You inspire others to self-publish. It's a beautiful thing, and you're childless in this life because of this role, and it's too demanding and wouldn't be fair to the children. Moreover, your husband is that needy for your attention, and it's in a good way, like lovers need each other, but also because you need a break from children, as all the other Ginas have children, lots of children. Moreover, if you had children in this life, you would be in survival mode, providing for them, and you would stay stuck in this pattern of survival mode. So in this life, you break the pattern of survival mode. The other Ginas thrive, and now this thriving is being manifested into your life. Finally, if you had children in this life, you would not have met your husband, at least the right one, because you would again be in survival mode. And this is why your life has come together like it has. The other Gina's thankful not to be the listener and scriber. It's your role, and only you can fulfill it. So now you do. We know you're scared because it needs to make money, and now, like right now. The husbands understand 3D money, and they're all sweating it out because you haven't received their many cash dollars. They know you need money now, and enough money to pay your bills now and more. Always more, because that's how the mind forages, always taking a bite bigger than you can chew. That's the catfish energy within you. That's why you dream big. Dream big, Gina. Dream about millions and millions. Never just dream about dollars. No, 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 no. Millions of dollars. Initially, you just wanted to share these stories for the sake of sharing. The story medicine it is. The voice you wanted to shout out. Yet now you need to sell it as an aggressive form of income. Although aggressive income, it's passive outcome, meaning it's easy to sell the books. It seems like a passive way for you to spend your time, and yet the money comes in fast and hard, hence aggressive income. It's all about the pull energy, and there's no push to sell anything. You don't want to be popular or in the spotlight, yet folks will want to interview you about all of this, and then you'll fade away as the movies take over, as they seem to do with all books, which will be a good thing for you. And this income for you, you receive now. And this will check off the list that you were independent, moreover, able to generate money on your own. That's important to you. We get it. The husbands we are, we get it. That's the thing about you. There's something about everyone, and that's the thing about you. You like to be independent, and money is exciting for you. You love money. You love money because it's just a bunch of numbers to help you monitor the number of books you sell, and it helps you plan your life because you enjoy budgeting. Even though you don't have to, you love money, and you love sitting down once a month to look at finances. You love seeing what you're spending money on and where it's going. But in the past, somehow, you began to have an unhealthy relationship with money because of survival mode. Each aspect has their thing. So fine, this is your thing. And really, what will change about your life with all this money? Not much. That's the true magic. Rather than rent a condo or make car payments, you'll own. Rather than be in survival mode, you'll thrive. Those are the only things that will change because no matter what, you'll always be you. And you love this. And so do we. Even though you're a millionaire, you'll resonate in a condo by the beach, top floor, of course, with a wraparound balcony. And you won't have too much of anything because you'll have everything. And by everything, we mean you'll have your thriving life, your security, your husband, your view, your community, and most of all, your freedom. Freedom to be your true, authentic self. Freedom to be you. And this freedom is simply priceless. And that's just it, Gina. It's simply priceless because it's so simple. And no one could ever put a price on you because you are priceless. And your life is priceless. And your life with your husband is priceless. Simply priceless, Gina. So the husbands know what to do. So they redirect a lot of the money to others who will purchase these books and sign up for gemstone readings while also attending conferences you make appearances at. You will also enjoy money that comes from your husband. Your trouble, we're troubled because it's as if there is money all around you, yet you don't see it. And what you do see, you can't access. And what you do access seems to be quickly snatched away from you. Part of you is haunted by push energy, survival energy, where others always come first and you never seem to matter. Well, you fucking matter. And you matter a lot to us personally because we're you. And you feel like you're not deserving of any of it. And we assert you are. And we assert the money is coming from the husbands we are. And the husbands we are especially assert that the money is there for your taking. So take it. And you take it in the form of an aggressive income. Your false inhibiting beliefs go very deep, so deep. Unlike you, we're not a story species. So we are working with your dreams and storyline to assist in the communication. And so you can access the money in your 3D reality. You folks call it manifesting. So we have done this on our side and pulling it into your reality. In fact, we already have. It's not some magical idea where your husbands come into your life and solve all your problems. No, it's your real husbands in other dimensions working with your 3D reality, protecting and providing for you. If you continue to survive, you won't meet your husband. And that thought alone is devastating the husbands. So all that matters right now is you and your reality, because in all the other realities, you're with your husband. The Ginas we are could help you. But then it would contradict the feminine energy you're finally stepping into. As mentioned before, you are to receive in this life. It's so confusing. You've been in such a state of protecting and providing for others, but that's survival mode for you, confusing and difficult when it shouldn't be. inhibiting, unfair, stressful, makes you sick. You are very intelligent and you need to see the money. So your husbands give 40% of their money to you, to folks to make purchases of your books, sessions, movie rights, etc. And they give your husband in your reality 60% of their money for you, which is a lot because your husband here can see it all so clearly, keeping it for you. And this is why when you first meet, he's so generous, showing you the money, literally in his wallet, in his bank account, showing you the budget, which you are part of. He doesn't care how much money you spend or what you buy. He just wants to track it for your monthly money meetings you have, which are enjoyable, by the way. Your husband is pretty quick to put ample money into your account, gives you cash, and provides a credit card. He gives to you so generously because it's your money from your other husbands. And this is why he says, what's his is also yours, because he believes you share everything. And he understands now that the money flowing to him at an accelerated rate is your money. He has his own millions, yet now it's super flowing in, like mega flowing in. And he wondered why money was flowing so much because he doesn't need it. And now he knows why. Because it's not even his money, it's your money coming through him. God, there's so much money coming to him so fast. Your money coming through him. And the reason why is because it's from the other husbands. Manish chimes in that it's him who has been chiming in. So the other versions of you and your husbands are making sweet love about all of this. And things are getting really upsetting from their perspective. And the other Gina's almost e-transferring you money. That was like a nightmare horror movie unfolding for the other husbands. Never, never again. It almost happened. Some of the Ginas quietly were in the process of doing so, and the husbands walked in on this. It was very upsetting for the husbands to walk in on this, as if walking on in Gina having an affair, as if walking in on Gina packing her bags to leave. It's that kind of an emotional heartache. That's what the heartache the husbands felt. It was rooted in the not trusting them, not surrendering to them. Fuck, they take such incredible care of you that they come together from other dimensions far and wide to zone in on you. They protect and provide for you so much that they take you in from these other dimensions. Your reality, their focus, nothing else matters to them except you doing spirit work and being with your husband. So this is extraordinarily powerful. They love you and all aspects of you, literally. And they cried so much about this. And they cried together with their Ginas. You see, that's the thing about you, Gina, and all the other Ginas. If they have to make something happen, they will. And they will advocate that everything exists in the now and that they're enough, that things are available to them, and that they are the same as everyone else. So they'll never wait around for someone else, not even their husbands, to make anything happen. And to reiterate these things is upsetting, very upsetting. They advocate they should never have to be reiterating any of this. They should never have to assert that they're enough, that things are available to them, and that they're the same as everyone else. To do so only feeds the false insecurity that these things are true. The Ginas extraordinarily upset reiterating these things. The Ginas are wildly upset because they know how much you wanted to have children, and you were meant not to have children in this life so you could enjoy this honeymoon life, not so you could be in survival mode. They live vicariously through you. You're their dream, you and your husband. The Ginas insist to the husbands, threatening that they'll give you money right now. Not now, but right now. They advocate and cry to the husbands. Now is the how, they say. How you ask now, and they advocate right now because all that matters is the now, this very moment, because it determines the next moment. So you get extra busy publishing these very pages. It's not the husband's fault, as they have protected and provided. It's a matter of you having such deep false inhibiting beliefs. It's like watering a tree, yet the tree's roots keep foraging where it's dry. They get it. It's because you can't seem to rely on anyone but yourself. And whenever you've asked for anything, it's always been later thrown in your face. So the tree that you are is desperate for water, and your husband's showering you, yet you don't receive the water because you don't want to take anything that will be later thrown in your face. Oh, how this is so heartbreaking. It's beyond heartbreaking. The other dimensions are now all watching and listening to this one like a hawk. All their loving energy is being poured into this one. And now it's time for this to manifest. Folks who want to buy your books can, because they have money to do so. And those folks who want to help because they like to go and watch movies, they will have money to go and watch movies, your movies, when they come out. And folks who like to produce movies, they'll have the time and energy to help you produce your movies. Your husbands in the dimensions have ample money now and always. But your husband in this dimension has ample money for you as well. There is Gina money. So every time a book is purchased or a ticket is sold to see a movie, that's the husband supporting the community to support you. And my husband in this life, he will find you. Your husband in this life really turning on the other Ginas with his wild advocacy, proud the other husbands are because he's an aspect of them. He's never cared about anything so much, and he's never had such a focus. Keep up with your online social groups because he's mixed in there. He's already found you. He's just sorting it out as he's simultaneously having his own dreams, these dreams. And yes, these books you write will be confusing to follow because the timeline flip-flops. So don't worry about any of this when you write about it or when you meet him, for he's here now. Yes, here in October 2024. And stop checking the grammar. Just type and publish, and we'll stop chiming in so much so you can do this. Keep being excited, Gina. You spend a lot of time listening to others. So you must remember that your husband comes first, and he doesn't like to admit this, but out of all the folks you listen to, he needs you to listen to him the most. And so you do. And you surrender even more by reducing your workload and availability to others. Both you and your husband require a lot of time for your own self-care, which is most of the time. And so your lifestyle becomes a self-care lifestyle. You don't think you do much, but that's the magic. Just hanging out with him, even if you're cooking and he's watching a movie, he just feels so rested, assured because you're there. And it's because you're his home and hearth. And the husbands turning in from the other dimensions are tuning in to all of this. They turn into themselves. And they are also feeling rested, assured. And just thinking about the time the Ginas were on the brink of putting money into your bank account rips their heart apart each time. It's best not to bring it up. It's part of their therapy. That's not me anymore walking in on my wife almost putting money into Gina's account. And the other Ginas too have their own transformational audios and mantras. That's not me almost putting money into Gina's bank account. That's not me almost doing an e-transfer. Oh, how stressful because technology, that's the husband's role. And the husbands and Ginas have all kinds of healing sex. And as mentioned, it's really best not to mention this, for they get all wild up about it. So they're rewriting their own Akashic records, and that part totally removed, far removed, completely rewritten. And this new storyline about the husbands giving money and you generating it with these books. It's so important for you and your husbands to live this honeymoon life, not just for you two, but for the other aspects of you, especially the age 4 and age 7 Ginas. It's not just about your husband checking off his list, protecting and providing for you. It's about them fulfilling their role so you can fulfill your role. Moreover, it's about how much they love you and how rested, assured, and accomplished they feel resonating in all of this. The husbands need you to relax so they can relax. When you suntan, you can truly relax and enjoy the moment. And you feel good about your husband being busy on Zoom with his committee meetings. And you look forward to hearing about it. And it's so nice because life is simple and life is good, real good. Oh, Gina, Gina, Gina. Gina, you're me, Manus. And I never thought I could be so important and so phenomenal. So you're a testament to dreams, because I too dared to dream the most wildest dreams, and I could have never, ever forged such an image of myself, the person you are. Oh my God, the person you are and continue to become. Folks often joke around asking me if I'm sure I'm you, but it's true. It's true. What an honor to be you, to be us. Us is as is. United are we. Be free. Eyes is. Love eternal. Your husband, he has wisdom to share, and you have wisdom to share with him. Same with your clients. And you don't break confidentiality. You couldn't if you tried because of the shitty memory. All this wisdom becomes part of the greater theme of this very series. Follow your dreams, and follow your dreams with your husband together, even the scary ones together, because dreams reveal truths. Don't let fear or self-doubt stop you from awakening to the beauty of your relationship. Confess your fears openly so you can move forward in trust. And for what it's worth, when your husband wants you to go on top of him, it's only because in a loving, safe way, he wants to show you how strong he is, hence him doing all the work, which he asserts isn't work at all. And he really likes feeling the weight of your body. He used to work out intensely, and having sex is a safe way for him to spontaneously recall his own strength and his own joy of using his own body. So as you already know, he likes to place your arm here and your leg there, and turning you around. And he loves when you practice chair dancing on him or need help stretching, because he gets to play with your body and feel your strength. And he loves brushing your hair, and he loves it when he's making love to you and on top of you, and you somehow end up moving to the bottom of the bed. And so it's in these moments he loves to grab a hold of your body and bring you back up to the top to his eye level. It's fun. And in a lighthearted way, it's how he gets to wrestle with you. And he doesn't want you to wrestle back. It's his way of being in control. And for what it's worth, he's had to fight a lot physically. And so this is such a relief to him to spend this time with you and for him to relax in this way. So the point is, when you're on top, it's not about you being on top. No, not at all. It's about him being strong and being in control. And he thinks it's novelty when you don't know what's going on, and he's spontaneous to turn you over or get you on top. And he doesn't even know what he's going to do until he does it, which excites him. And he doesn't hesitate in these moments. He just does it. And he used to hesitate in these moments with you. And he doesn't put you on top very often. And for what it's worth, it's his thing more than anything that you need to worry about. You just need to play along. And so, anyways, I just love reading all about the husband tales. And for what it's worth, your biggest fears, Gina, are the ones where you're not enough. And it's the same with your husband. So being enough as is and admitting to these fears to each other is all part of your relationship. And so when it comes to sex, about being on top, your husband needs this, if you will. He needs to show himself he's strong. And then later on, when he thinks about it, it pleases him intellectually to remember these moments where he was strong and in control, and that you surrendered to this. It's okay to let your husband lead in the bedroom scene, just like it's okay for you to lead in the kitchen scene. He just wants you to breathe and hold on to him, just like you want him to sit down and enjoy the meals you've prepared for you both, which he does with ease. And yes, it's that simple.